Hi everybody, thank you for checking in. You're at home with Melissa, and in this episode I'm going to give you a quick update on the changes we've made so far to the office grow room to turn it into also a lounge for Squeaky the Siamese, who you see there in the sunlight kind of basking on the desk, her tall bowl of water and her wet cat food beside her. And what we have here in the corner of the room is a little wading pool for human children. It's by a company called Intex, and it has a metal frame, and it's about 48 inches on each side and about a foot deep. When it's filled to capacity, it holds 89 gallons of water. As you can see right now, the amount of water currently in it is not much. It's about to the second knuckle of my index finger, and that is because when I put that water in there, I made it the temperature Spike would use for a bath, and I let her swim around until she decided she was done and wanted to come out, and she really enjoyed it. But that's the only bath she's going to get because the water is now cooled and it's no longer good for her. That is going to be my minnow pond, and I'm going to attempt to grow watercress in with the minnows as well. In front of it, you can see here we've got Spike's UVB light and heat lamp and her basking stone. And whenever she wants to, she just runs over there. She is already living in this room, and she seems to really like it. Let me show you where she is now. She just ran. There she is. And excuse the condition of the floor. I just swept it. There is dirt on it, though, that's kind of ground in, and I could, bye, honey. Camera shy. I could mop it, but I didn't mop it because I knew I was going to be in here filming and didn't want to get my muddy footprints all over. And Spike just went under the set of shelves that I mentioned needed put together. And right now I'm just using that. I have some fish food sitting there, as well as a little bit of a dried insects treat for Spike. And the rest of what's on there is mostly just things that I'm using for the construction of the room right now, other than the blue container, which is Spike's new bathtub. So she likes it, and I wish she was coming out to play with us, but she isn't. Beside it, you can see the remnants, and I do mean remnants, of what was an aquaponic living wall with kind of a waterfall feature. The water fell from one plant to the other. It was so loud, so incredibly loud. It worked well. It kept the water from getting all nasty like it looks right now, but it was so loud I couldn't hear myself think. So I lived with it for a couple of days, and now I'm dismantling it. And in taking the one planter off the wall, I actually pulled one of the brackets out of the wall. They're really heavy, pardon me. They're really heavy. I had a hard time getting it down. So anyway, that's the remnants of it. But see the wall behind it? That is actually roofing steel that was in tiny pieces. It was what was left from a roofing project my friend Ashley did. And Ashley, thank you so much for the steel, because that did form the back of the living wall. But I'm going to leave it there once I fully dismantle the living wall itself, because what it does is it's opposite a very large picture window. Sunlight pours in through the picture window all day. And the dark color of that steel means that when the sunlight hits it, it heats up. And then later when the sun goes down and it's a little bit cooler, that releases the heat. Now I have the temperature in here set just to a little bit below the temperature that you should have your terrarium set for your bearded dragon. So both the bearded dragon and the heat-loving cat really, really like it in here. And you know, it's easy to tell when a cat likes something. I'm telling you that the dragon also likes it, because most of the day she spends it running around the room and checking things out, climbing things, looking at things, and she'll play and run from one end of the room to the other and things like that. And then she'll stop, grab a few bites of food. If she hits a cool spot in the room and she's running around where it's not warm enough for her, she'll go and warm up under her basking rock and then start running again. And she seems to really like it. Now, this Intex is the brand name. This Intex wading pool, it's only about a foot deep, 48 inches on each side, just like the other one. This one, oh, and by the way, if you're interested in buying them, they don't cost much at all. If you're looking for a relatively low and wide tank or pond, they make a good one, and they're available. I checked before filming this video. They are available on Amazon.com, and they cost a lot less than just about anything else you're going to use for that purpose. Now, you can see that in the water it looks really murky. What is on the bottom there is a lot of planting soil, a lot of potting soil, and yeah, some fish waste. But I cleaned the fish waste out with a net, and I put some plants in there. See the pothos and things that are sticking out of the two front corners of it? That's to help keep the water clean and oxygenated, clear out nitrates and things like that. But I put it in there and got potting soil in it. It's still on the bottom. And the line you see at the back is a piece of driftwood that I actually collected locally. And you probably can't see them, but in there reside the 5 larger of my 9 native caught bluegill. They had broken into 2 groups within their school, and there was a set of 5 who were more assertive, more aggressive, and they were kind of bullying the 4 smaller ones. So I gave the 5 this pond of their own. No one bullies anyone. They don't school closely together. They're very, very comfortable and just go through their days nice and easy. And in the mornings, the morning sun hits the surface of that water, and as they would do in the wild, they come to the surface of the water to sunbathe. And then I'm using that as a propagation pond for my duckweed. Duckweed is highly nutritious, high in fiber and high in protein, and it's good for fish. It's good for ducks if they would want to eat it, and if you would want to eat it, it would be good for you as well. Then if we move over here, pan over there a little bit in front of the window, beneath it you will see that this is the type of heater I have in here. And this room is on its own heating system. That's an upright steam radiator, and they put off a lot of heat. They hold it and stay hot. Once they've warmed up, they stay warm for a very long time. And both the cat and Spike are known to go over there. In fact, Spike was over there, the lizard. She was over there sleeping the other night. They usually crawl into a hole to sleep. And I don't know if she was just tired from running around or if she just feels that comfortable in here. But she decided to just sleep in the middle of the floor in front of the radiator. And I had the temperature in here. At night, usually you want a temperature in a dragon's habitat to be, if I remember right, it's about 70 degrees Fahrenheit. And it's a little warmer than that in here, actually. But she chose to lie in front of the heater, and she was dead asleep. And Squeaky the cat went over and sniffed her from head to toe, and then lay down about a foot, foot and a half from her and went to sleep herself. So the two of them were sleeping together there. It was really cute. And let me see what else we have for you. There's the curtain that I just pull across the window when I need a little privacy at nighttime, for example. And excuse the darkness here. There's the outside, and the yard needs work. And that crazy looking thing there, the pipe sticking out of the wall. What that is the visible part of an external passive solar heater. And it does produce heat in the winter. And so that also helps cut down on heating costs a little bit. It would do so even more if there was any insulation at all in these walls, which there isn't. But before I get anything that Spike can climb up there on, I will be putting some mesh in or over that to avoid having her go into that pipe, because it is big enough, and I would end up having to dismantle my heater from the outside in order to save her from herself in the heater. And then we have the door here. You can see my rain barrels outside. I've made and placed quite a few of them around the property, and those two still need placed. But this door, you can see that the windows, there we go, got the lighting right. You can see that the windows get down almost to the base of the door. And Spike, oh, there's my potting area. And Spike really likes this door, and she seems to want to be up by the windows. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut down my branches and things and make a climbing area for her that goes right against the windows of the door. And I'm going to make it so that the climbing is right against the window so that she doesn't, say, try to throw herself at the windows and end up falling. And I'm going to make, it's going to be made basically in the form of a scaffold. One side actually drilled into the door because I don't use that door anymore now that I've decided to convert this into a habitat. And so the one end of the climbing structure is going to be attached to the door. I've already started cutting down the wood for it. And I'm basically going to make it this interwoven scaffold with different branches going different directions so that if she should happen to fall, she won't fall more than a couple of inches and she'll have other branches to climb. Bearded dragons do climb, but Spike's just kind of a klutz. So, and also, I'm not going to show it, but I mean, it's totally clean. I'm just not going to show it. No. In here, we also have her litter box. And I keep after it. There's absolutely nothing in it. But the reason I make sure to clean it up repeatedly throughout the day is not so much because of little sweet Squeaky. It's because, let's pan around, little naughty Spike has decided that she likes to run through the litter. She will run across the room, go through the struggle of climbing up the side of the litter box, and it is a struggle for her. And she'll just run in a straight path across the litter box, climb, struggling to get out on the other side, and plop down on the floor, and then turn around and come back through doing that again. So, so I have to keep the litter box clean. I have to check it repeatedly throughout the day. I can't wait to get my minnows in there. That's going to be so much fun. But anyway, I also can't wait to get the lattice work ready for you. And I'm going to try to show you what our progress is as we go on through things. And I hope that you found this. Oh, the fish are up at the top. They want water. I mean, food. Look at the fish. Let's see if you can see them. Oh, no, you can't. But, sorry about that. I'm trying to think if there's anything I missed, and I don't think there is. We're just going to call this the end of the video with a quick shot on Spike. Hi, Spike. Hi, sweetheart. And I don't know if she's camera shy or if she's wondering why on earth I'm sitting in here talking to myself. I don't know what's going on because she's usually out running. But those are what we've done so far. We've got the 2 ponds that we have set up. We have this one ready to fill and catch the minnows. I've partially dismantled the old aquaponics system on here. And I think I'm going to put, I think I showed you that in the last video maybe even. I'm going to put some air plants on there and hopefully they'll do well. But that'll hold the heat from the day and release it at night. Cutting down just slightly on the heating bills. So I hope that you may have found some interesting ideas here and that you check in with us on the next time when I hope to have a lot more exciting updates for you. I just didn't want to let this go. It's been a week. I didn't want to let things go any longer without showing you what we've done so far. So I hope you all have a great time and join me the next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.